Okay. Alright. Hello, hello. Alright, just making sure stream is sent. Alright, just making sure. Seems fine so far. Okay. Yeah, we're good to go. Is the audio good? Hello, Gio. Okay. Alright, I just want to make sure, because I had to tinker with it a bit again, because I ended up adjusting the audio settings a bit for a video, so we're good though. Okay. Yeah. Be a chill day. Hello, Grid Hunter. So yeah, let's get started then. I will take your suggestion first, CEO or NASCAR. I'll do a Deathstroke versus Taskmaster. That will be our first thumbnail for the day. So I think this one should be easy. You can make suggestions. Hello, Gravity. Just gonna yoink the normal renders that I use for Taskmaster. Alright. So, before I begin, might as well ask while everyone's here, how did you, or what did you think of the episode? What did y'all think of Simone versus Kyle? That don't look too bad. Yep, alright, this is interesting. That's about what I about what I've heard. from people. Very much a mixed bag, even for like this an episode like this, because I so I've had me personally. I think it's very. I wanted to like this episode. I should preference that right now. I really wanted to like this episode. I wanted this to be another good episode, another good Green Lantern episode, or another good Lantern episode. I are good at explaining things. Yes. Anyway, I wanted this to be another good Lantern episode, and to be honest with you, well, I was liking it at first. I thought the analysis were fine, and then it got to Kyle's analysis, and I was very emptied by it. I'm like thinking to myself, wow, there's really no pizzazz there. It's just, yeah, here's the White Lantern. It's like the most casual thing possible, and I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. By the way, when they were going through Simone's analysis, or while I was watching Simone's analysis, I texted in a group chat with my friends, and I said, yeah, Simone's winning this episode. Because they made that shit so fucking obvious to me. Especially with, like, the layouts of both their analyses. Because Kyle's had the dimensional tearing stuff in his preview. Which, by the way, if you want to make an easy bet, if you see stats for a character in a preview, they're going to lose. Like, 100% of the time. It happened with Eggman, it happened with Kyle, and it happened with... What was the third one? Oh yeah, Master Chief. So, you know, I'm just saying. They kind of have a bad habit of doing that. But that's just me. And Steven... Wait, I don't remember Steven vs. Star. Man, it has been way too many years. I'm an old fuck. I can't remember that stuff. But basically, what was I saying? Right. And I knew he was gonna lose based on the preview alone. Because it's like, they made that really obvious. But when they got to the fight, I'm like, okay, let me see how this fight is. Maybe the fight is good. Because the preview looked pretty neat. And I'm watching it. The start's good for the most part. I like the construct usage, and I like that the different colors are there. They use the different lantern colors to signify different things. Like the dragon is fear, the vacuum is greed. But then it got to the midway point, and I'm just like, oh wow, okay, so we're just jumping here already. And I knew this was going to be a problem. The pacing of this fight. I knew this was going to be a major issue in my eyes, because this fight doesn't have, obviously with all the other forms and whatnot, but I think jumping from like ground level to galaxy busting was a bit much. I also think too the mid portions are kind of boring. They're not really that interesting. I like Simone's dialogue to an extent, I guess, but I don't know. I just felt nothing watching it. Or watching that part. The life equation came out, and I was just like, okay, okay, so this is where he overpowers it, and then Kyle is just stuck with nothing, and I was right. But the scene after that, though, with the Super Tangentopia drill versus the life equation drill is actually really fucking cool, so that's a really cool moment. Haka Krypton. I don't really watch his stuff. I don't know. Like, I've watched a couple. Actually, I shouldn't say I don't watch his stuff. I've watched a couple of his videos, but they never really tickled my fancy. That's probably because my attention span is that of a fucking potato chip, but I think the climax is mostly fine. You know, I think it's good. or a good way to end the fight. But then we got to the post-analysis, and I'm just like utterly baffled by their reasonings for why they had Simone hired. It almost feels like they were trying to... Okay, I think this is a bigger problem with the analysis as a whole. It feels like they were pussyfooting around just saying Kyle was stronger than Simone. Because it feels that way. Because with the preview, you get the impression, okay, if they're talking about this now, there's definitely higher stuff they're going to talk about later. And you're waiting for that in this episode, right? You're waiting for this to happen. And it never happens. It feels like a blue balls. Like, they bring up things like the Anti-Monitor and Darkseid, but they don't go anywhere with it. It's like, why bring these two up? And now, the Anti-Monitor thing fucking baffles me too, because Anti-Monitor, that dude is insane. That dude's like outer, at minimum. He's like the fucking Galactus of DC. And they kind of just gloss over him. I was just so confused, like, why bring these guys up if they don't have bearings on the analysis, you know? Usually, if you bring a character up, you should at least bring a feat up for them. And they also don't really just go into full extent of how big DC actually is. They don't bring up the general... Because they bring up the creation, right? They talk about, oh, the life equation is all of creation in DC. And if they do that, that would include things outside the source wall, which they don't bring up. They also just don't bring up the source wall feed either, which doesn't make sense to me. Because it's like, there's more to DC outside of it, too. Outside of the source wall as well, which would encompass that, or the life equation. I are good at speaking today, Jesus Christ, man. But I think you get my point, though. It's like, there's a lot of flaws with this analysis, and it feels like very bare bones when it comes to talking about the higher stuff, especially with White Lantern. And I do not like that. I think that it kind of feels like a blue balls. And I wish they talked about it a lot more than just, oh, he's this powerful. You know what I mean? I also don't like the track. That's a given, though. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I am not a fan of Will of the Drill. I have never been a fan of it. And I think that it is a very overrated track in the community. But I am very happy. I will respect it because, you know, the people who made it, they got their commission track in an official episode to an extent. So you know what? Thumbs up for that. Thumbs up. They leave a mark. But like, yeah, as I was watching it, I was at work watching it, right, on break. And all I could feel is just nothing but apathy towards it because I didn't really have... It's not that I didn't have a strong connection with both the characters, because I've seen enough of Simone to think that the dude is goated, and I fucking love Kyle, but like, yeah, oh yeah, that's another thing, the imagination part. It's weird as fuck that they said they were equal, but yet in the way they word it, they make it come off as Kyle is just outright better with his creativity and his lantern powers, which he is, technically. But another thing too with the source wall stuff is that even if they did bring up the source wall stuff, then Kyle would just outright AP stomp Simone, and it kind of just ruins their main argument for Simone being higher with his willpower. Because if he was outer, he would not be able to just simply jump dimensions. He can infinitely jump all he wants, but he will never reach Kyle in power at that point. It's kind of weird, but like, well, basically, it's just basically, hold on, brain fart. Let me think. I'm saying a lot here, so I'm getting a little... It's also really hot in this room. I think it's just... It feels like they wanted Simone to win. That's my main takeaway from it. And if that's the case, that is fine. Alright, you know? If you want Simone to win, that's perfectly reasonable. I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think that it comes off as very haphazardly done and feels very lenient towards Simone as an episode. The next time those fucking peak, y'all motherfuckers better suit up for that shit, man. That is my boy. That is my boy Lofty getting his episode finally. We suit up, boys. This is the next generation Black Adam versus Apocalypse. All right. Suit, tie, everything. I want dress pants, dress shoes, and a nice ass haircut. None of that bedhead shit. But all right. Yeah, I did it. We got our first thumbnail done. So now I'm gonna make a thumbnail I wanted to make. I've had this image of Palpatine in my fucking downloads folders for a whole 3 days, so I'm gonna use it finally. I'm gonna make a Sidious, a Sidious Xehanort thumbnail. Also, one thing I am a bit sad by is that I'm sad that Kyle did not make like a Megazord. That is my one takeaway too from that midpoint. I wanted him to make like a fucking the legendary Megazord from Megaforce or some shit, or he makes like the Q Ranger Q-Damajin mecha. Gatai. I think that'd just be cool. Like like he's just fighting Kyle, or he's just fighting Simone, and then he pulls this shit out. He just pulls this out to fight the galaxy-sized robot, which is very fitting too, because how many colors there are to it. Okay, so now you want to get a Xehanort. Xehanort gotta be one of the Alright, shit, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Wily versus Tom. I think Wily should just stomp Tom, but like I don't know who actually might win that in like a death battle episode. Or in like an episode, because like I've seen some very conflicting things with what their team thinks, and it's like well fuck, what do I do here? Excuse me. What if it's the inverse of Wait, you mean both of them just get blown the fuck up at the end of the episode? Because they're equal stats to each other? Yeah. Okay, that would be peak though. I won't lie. That would be a peak ending. Oh, that's the right one. There we go. I was pressing the wrong button. Yeah, I probably should. I was just thinking about this too. Maybe I should also, maybe in the stream I'll also do a tier list of my ranking of each episode. Because I think, cause I haven't done that, surprisingly. I haven't done like a ranking for the episodes so far. And I feel like that would be worthwhile doing. We're very close. We're very close to episode 200 too. I'm really hoping it's Ruby Maka for the episode 200. If it would just be really fitting for a major milestone episode. Hello, Jeter. Yeah, I don't want Wiley versus Tom to be a tie, because it shouldn't be a tie. I think Wiley just wins, because he has a way of just turning Tom's Toon Force off, and it's like you can't really ignore that. Like he can just turn Tom back into a normal ass cat. What's high for this season of the? I think I was very excited for Chief Slayer. Chief Slayer, Bowser's Eggman. I was excited for, or very hyped about, because of it being Moro's magnum opus as just an animation project. It's very good. Godzilla versus Hulk. I don't know, man. Godzilla Hulk is such a weird one to me. On one hand, it makes sense. On the other, I don't know. It makes a lot of sense as an idea, narratively speaking. But I don't know how I feel about it. Godzilla will probably win that episode too, if I had to guess. Unless they want to argue that Banner could actually, because I remember talking to a friend about this, and he's like a huge Godzilla fan. He was talking about Ultima, and he was talking about the movie where they beat Ultima, right? Or whatever. And the way they beat Ultima was via a complex quantum physics equation to basically stop him from evolving. And Jet Jaguar ends up sacrificing himself basically in order to do it. So maybe you can make an argument that Banner, or like the smart like Professor Hulk personality, could do something like that. I think, or you can argue Green Scar, because technically Green Scar, from what I remember, is like the smartest and the strongest out of all of Hulk's forms. It's like the perfect balance. perfectly balanced, as other things should be. Oh yeah, Groot vs. Megamind is gonna happen at some point. I know that Megamind was hard pushed for a while for winning, but I think Groot just will just win that episode. Hold on, real quick. I'm gonna double check. I just want to double check this to see remember what episodes were confirmed. Let's see. Oh, that's still Oh yeah, no, that's it. Okay, that's weird because I thought there's more. Oh well. Just want to yoink some colors here. It's my template. Yes, this is our background. I like Doomsday vs. 682. It's cool. Okay. Nah, I don't like that. He would be funny to see in Marvel Rivals. The worst part, it's funny because he would have he has a mech and shit, so you can use him in the mech. Okay. The Red Lantern ring, because he's just Rage incarnate. That reminds me that, not Kyle, Guy Gardner has so much hatred in him that he could just have 10 Red Lantern rings on his finger, or on his hands. And I question how, on God's green earth, could he have more rage than someone like Atrocitus? So what I'm doing, by the way, is that I am increasing. So the way I'm doing this is basically I make a copy of the layer, and then I do a high pass over it, and then I tinker with the layering in order to make the picture sharpen a bit. I find this method a lot more reliable than most other methods. What the f... Okay, what is that noise? I think I'll actually remove this. How does that look? I think I can. I think I fucked with it. The background I might change the coloring to though. It's all about experimenting. I don't hate that. I think that's a pretty good pretty good look. What's an episode that's gotten better for you over time? Ooh, that is a very good question. Um, hmm. I gotta think about this one. That one's actually. Uh, Hang on. Let me save this and let me look at the episodes real quick. Or actually, look at the list, the playlist on YouTube. the must-watch death metal list. So I think in terms of episodes that have gotten better, that I have warmed up to. Uh, what's an answer that would? Yeah. Hmm. Well, I can answer the inverse of that question though. I can definitely say that an episode that I just don't like. Can I? I think one of the inverses to that question would probably be something like Great as Death, because I used to like that episode quite a bit, but not anymore. I think episodes that warmed up to me over the years. I think the most blatant one is probably Dragon's Over vs. Mechagodzilla and Widow. I didn't like either one of those episodes too much, but now I've kind of they've grown on me a good bit. Okay. Give me your suggestions. Bumblebee versus Preyus. Okay, now that's an instant. We're doing that one. We're doing that one. Yoshi, bro, you hit the nail on the head. That's so good. Hell yeah. I'm about to confuse the fuck out of my friends though. So you know what? That's also worth it. That's also a W in my eyes. Hello, Nicholas. Ooh, it's TF2. Ooh, spooky boos. Anyway. And I think I'll do a. I should probably do Caboose versus Adam after this. Thoughts on the episode? Oh, you missed that, Nicholas. I basically said I'm very apathetic towards it. It exists, and that's all I really can say about it. I don't like Kyle's research all too much, and I think it kind of blue balls you out of how strong the White Lantern Corps actually is. Because it's very weird that they don't bring up a lot of the other feats involving the White Lantern, like literally creating a source wall or motherfucking John Stewart channeling the power of the source through his body to just make a source lantern, or Kyle just one-shotting a dude who had the power of the source outright. Hey, I'm just Caliber. It's the Bakugan. Preyus is the GOAT. He's the absolute cinema. There we go. Alright, where's Bumblebee? And Bumblebee. You mean the Transformers one, right? I just want to make sure. Not the one from DC. My brain is rotted by that one fucking intro clip from Teen Titans Go. Yeah, I know people, Nicholas. I know people. It's been very mixed bag for a lot of the people in the community because it's either they really like it or they don't really. They thought it was a letdown, or you're like me who's just in the middle, like, damn. I think it's been like that for a while now. Yeah. Who's the best lander out of the three? Hal, Jordan, Kyle. Like my favorite or like. Honestly, that's tough. But you know what? I'm a basic bitch. I'm going with my boy Jon Stewart, my goat. I really hope when we get another Lantern episode, it's fucking Nova. I want Nova versus Green Lantern. God damn it! Give me my Richard versus John episode. You sons of bitches! I've been waiting for that for years. Also, Nova's writer's coming back in the new Marvel game, because the main threat's Annihilus. Him and Quasar look great in that game, by the way. Oh, I'm getting the. I'm getting an image real quick. I'm just getting this image because he looks great. Look at him. He's got the ponytail and everything. That's my goat. That's my favorite Marvel Herald. John constructs a military army against Nova from his ring. He constructs a bunch of cabbage pulps and he flings cabbages at him. It's like that scene in Unlimited where he makes a bunch of catapults and flings it. Didn't this just play? Wait a minute. I'm not going crazy, right? I thought I... Okay, why is it... Okay, I wasn't going crazy. I was about to say. For some reason it was looping. Yeah, it's so cool. I was saying, oh yeah, he makes a bunch of cabbage pulls, like the Unlimited episode, the Christmas one, where he makes a bunch of catapults and flings snowballs at Hawkgirl. I think that would be pretty funny. Oh, ooh, thoughts on Thunderbolts? Oh boy. Yeah, Jeter, you're asking the. Ugh, that's a strong question there. But if you want my opinion, that movie is mid as hell. It looks good, but it's so half-assed done that I think it's genuinely as bad as other Marvel movies or more modern Marvel movies. I think that its messaging is a good one, but it just isn't well executed in the slightest, and no one gets character development in this movie outside of like Yelena. Everyone else is kind of just a fucking background character. Kyle was my favorite thanks to DCU. I think Marvel did lose the plot. It's like I wanted Thunderbolts to be good because the trailers, alright, it looks good, looks interesting, and then it came out and bam, my disappointment was immeasurable. Oh, sorry, give me one moment. Sorry about that. I think my big problem with it is how it tries and appeal to like general mental health problems. It just doesn't do a good job. A lot of the stuff in the movie comes off as it's like written by Gen Zers who don't do anything outside of scrolling on Twitter. Because there's so much you could set up with like John Walker and Bucky and Yelena and all those. You have so much potential with that, and they don't fucking do anything with it. Like, John Walker, when they got to why he's a depressed mess, I was thinking, okay, probably because he lost, his friend died, he lost all respect in the military, because he killed a no-no guy, even though he was absolutely in the right for doing that, by the way. He's like he's the good guy in that situation. There's no... And that's probably just due to the fact that, like, Falcon Winter Soldier sets him up to be, like, this hated character. But yet, there's no reason to hate him. Out of just, like... Out of the fact that they need you to hate him. They need you to not like him. Like, you would think, like I said, you would think that his main reason for being sad and depressed and all that would be because his friend died, he lost all respect in the military because of what he did. And everyone in the world views him as a loser. Or not even that, it's just that his friend died. But no, they're like, he's scrolling on Twitter, he's fucking doom posting on Twitter, like, who greenlit this shit to be fine? It also kind of just character assassinates what we know about him in Falcon Winter Soldier. And that his family loves him. He has a loving family, he's got a kid, and all that, and all of a sudden his family just fucking hates him. It's like they're trying to make him out to be like the most hated dude possible. And I'm just looking at it like, Jesus. The positives though, Lewis Pullman as Sentry, Jesus Christ, he was one of the best parts of this movie. By like, not even by like a wee bit, he was the best part. You can tell by his acting that he has trauma behind it, and I think that he does such a good job portraying that. And I think that him as the Sentry, he's a good casting for Sentry. He looks great. Cucumber. I also just hate too, like the more modern Marvel stuff as well, with Bucky being in this trilogy or this new era of Marvel. They've done nothing with this guy, and it pisses me off so much because I think Bucky's the most wasted character in the MCU at this point. I thought he was going to be the new Captain America, because it would have fit his character a lot if he took up the mantle for Steve. But real quick, I'm gonna make my another thumbnail, another one of my thumbnails that I've been wanting to make for a while now. I'm gonna make Hela versus Hades. Because I've been thinking about that. It just sounds like that sounds kind of cool. Pros. The drill scene was cool and the ending was pretty neat. And oh yeah, and the start was pretty alright. You know, I liked all the constructs. Cons. Apathy. Just pure, unfiltered apathy. I felt like Gantham after he got his fucking lobotomy. From Saint Seiya. Because I was thinking about comic ideas for Hela. There is another one I like. I was thinking about too, and that was Necron from DC. Because I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That kind of makes sense. Alex, me needing a oh no, I need, yeah. Oh no, I didn't find a good image of a comic book character. Whatever shall I do? Alex Ross coming down like the Mercy gif. Yeah, Snake. That's what Jake the Snake. That's what I said too. I said the exact same thing. Because they didn't touch on White Lantern stuff at all. Or not White Lantern stuff, but more or less the stats of them. And I'm just like, I was sitting there the whole time like, dumbfounded. Like, okay, are we going to talk about the other stuff with White Lantern? No? Okay. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Give me one moment. I'm sorry. I had to take... we are bathroom break real quick. So, give me one moment. I return from the bathroom. Alright. Back to the thumbnails. Yeah, they didn't talk, but yeah, they did not talk about the Black Lanterns, which makes no sense. Because, you know, they kind of have an importance to the White Lantern. I find it weird that they show the Source Well in the fight, but don't talk about its insane scaling it gives to Kyle. Yeah, no, because that would just make him outer. It would outright just make him infinitely higher than Simone, and on a whole nother scale to where he can't match him. So it kind of makes the leapfrog argument irrelevant. And I just don't agree with it in terms of just its arguments for Kyle. Especially when Kyle's also beaten characters that are way higher in scale, even without the life equation. Like, I brought this up earlier, but John Stewart literally channeled the Source through his body and made the Source Lantern. And then Kyle, later in that comic run, beats the dude who had the power of the Source without the life equation. So it kind of just ruins the argument there. Oh yeah, I forgot how irritating it is to find a Hades render. Wait. Monopoly Man is an Orange Lantern, so true. His capitalist greed sickens me. I mean, it felt like Justified No Less Fast, like they... You construct some new door knockers. Uh-oh. Anyway. Yeah, no, it's just... I think the leapfrog argument is fine to argue, but the thing is, though, in this circumstance, it just doesn't matter. Because he's just... Because Kyle would just be higher in stats regardless. Thank you, Lewis, for the render. This... You know, that would be kind of an interesting video, thinking about it. Actually, I don't like the Alex Ross render. The concept of life, anything someone does would just make Kyle stronger as well. Yeah, that's another thing I don't get, the battery argument. I don't know why that was used as like a crux there. Because realistically, the battery wouldn't matter because he's a White Lantern. Last time I checked, White Lanterns don't run on... Like, they don't run on basic battery life for like the regular Lantern Corps, you know what I mean? And I talked about this too, Snake. The imagination argument. I don't agree with them being even. Kyle should just be better with his powers. Yeah, they run on life itself, so it's like... It's like, I'm trying to figure out what the argument was for that. Damn, why is she a bad bitch, though? Hmm. Ben's position. I think enough time has passed for me to say this. You know what? You're gonna get a spicy take from me. I enjoyed Ben vs. Hal more than this episode. Ben vs. Hal actually got some enjoyment I get enjoyment out of. I look at this episode and I just think apathy. Nah, man. Like I get something out of Ben vs. Hal. What do I get? I don't get anything out of this episode. Other than Tom versus Wiley. And that cool drill clash at the end there. Respect for Kyle because it's just the fight was more cooler. Fair enough. That is a fair thing to say. I would like a Ben run back at some point. I would like a No, Ben versus Danny doesn't sound like a bad. I would say Ben versus Danny doesn't sound like a bad idea, but like, I don't know about that. I think if I were to do a Ben run, I would just do Geo, honestly. Do you think Ben loses though, because it? Yeah, no, Ben just gets curbed. Teeth to the curb, Ben. That's pretty much what happens. But I don't. I think it's a cool. I think Ben vs. Hal is like one of the coolest ideas ever, and I'm so mad as a kid. As a kid, I never made the connections to it, and I was really excited too when it got announced back when I was in high school, because that was when it was season 6, Wario vs. DDD just came out. And I'm like, oh, that was a pretty good episode, and then Ben vs. Hal gets announced. I'm like, oh shit, that's actually cool. To be fair, Ben does have some higher arguments now, but they're not going to help him. Oh yeah, there was also no mention of Mandrake either, or the bleed, or just general uh, footnote of that, because the bleed just has an infinite dimensions argument, and Mandrake directly scales to that. Ghost Freak. Okay. Ziskare versus Vlad. Peak. But I feel like the Ghost Freak is honestly pretty cool as an idea. I think it's just a general animation fight. Me and my friend were in the middle. Yeah, I was pissed too, so. But you know what? I still enjoyed that episode a lot. I also Emerald Heroes over Spiral of Emotions and Will of the Drill. Y'all can quote me on that. No, that's pretty good. I like that. My thought exactly. Blue. My thoughts exactly. Blue. He's a bad bitch though. So true. You know, we're gonna use this as our background. What do you think, Natural for Death Battle 2? You know, I could see the live action episode being something that you wouldn't expect, or we wouldn't expect. So I'm gonna say I think it's Cat vs Ichigo as the live action episode, because I feel like you can get a lot out of a live action fight with that. I like how you had to specify that, Gio. They're just good designs, like in general. Because NetEase just knows how to make good characters. Like, or general good character art. It's great, man. It would be nuts if the live action episode was a nostalgia critic versus angry video game nerd. We'll go ahead and actually change the background at for Hades. It's kind of nuts that Zamasu's gonna beat his ass if when he gets an episode, because they're gonna have Zamasu win. No, I fuck with this. Chat. I definitely cooked. Okay. The Torian episode, I want it to be Ruby Maka. I really do. That would just be a really good way to do that episode. What makes you say it was Monsters of the Death Battle episode? Because from what I've seen, they think he wins from, just because of his region specifically. His region is fucking stupid. His region and immortality just outright should allow him to win. And then, you also have the fact that he has one way of actually killing Hades, and that is with a spirit bomb. My counterpoint to that is, realistically, why would he do a spirit bomb to kill Hades? Who knows? They've made models before. See, okay, NASCAR is spitting facts, folks. That is, get this man a truth nuke. Okay. So I'm thinking we take a slight detour now, and today we shall go to. We're gonna take a detour to Tier Maker real quick. Okay, I'm just looking real quick to make sure it's up to date. Yeah, okay, so this is up to date. Should at least keep the music on. Not to mention that one emote. What? They knew what they were doing. Let's be real. They knew what they were doing with that twerk emote. Like this, and then they just added the Make It Rain emote for Emma Frost. So like, what? I'm telling you, these motherfuckers know what they're doing. They know what sells. Speaking of Frost Heroes, and goddamn, dude, I woke up like I was waking up, getting ready for work. I looked at my phone. I'm like, oh yeah, the new character came out. Let me go ahead and see. Let me go ahead and take a look at the new character, Emma Frost, getting revealed. I looked at my phone, and I saw the design, and I said, God damn, dear God, what have they done? I'm just checking something real quick. Yeah, forgive me for a momento. But it's like... Okay, I think we're good. Wait, I just looked at this tier list. There's a rooster. Rooster. They added a tier for the Rooster Teeth version of Venom vs. Bane. That's funny. Alright, let me swap this over now. Okay, why is the screen black? There we go. Alright, so real quick, let's do this quickly. Start out. Bardock vs. Omni-Man, I think, is a very good episode. It has some issues, but I think overall it's a very fun one. I would put this in the awesome. Joker Giorno is existing. I think that this is the first apathetic episode I've ever felt, but then again, that's not a surprise to me. I really never had a huge emotion towards it. Bowser's Eggman is fucking god tier. This is the god tier episode. This is like insane droppage for a third episode. Like, holy shit, how is it that they dropped this bombshell and then Moro just drops his fucking magnum opus? Like, it's fucking nuts. One of the best episodes in the show's history, too. Guess where this is going? Poop Sting. Who would have thought a bunch of references, Among Us jokes, over and over again would be really unfunny. Also, the fight is really just uninteresting, and it's just a slop fest. I don't know why people like it. I really don't. Okay. This episode's okay. Kratos vs. Astra, it has some good things, but I think that it's very lacking. It needs a little more time in the oven to cook. This is another peak episode. Actually, I might lower this just to be in the cool. It's like a B tier episode. This is like raw though. This is a raw ass episode. I think this. I don't want to put it on the same level as Bowser Eggman, but it's up there. It is a very good episode. Mahito vs. Shigaraki is also really good, but I think it's more or less at the bottom there. Okay, you know, this is kind of biased, but I think it's just kind of raw. You know, actually, okay, even I'm kidding. I do like this episode. This is a really good episode, but I don't think it's up. Again, it's not. The standard for top tier is this, and you're not gonna get that very easily. Simone versus Kyle, okay. I don't know where to put this. That is a fair assessment. Okay. I'm thinking for a moment. Do I put this on the same level as Kratos vs. Asura and piss people off that way? Or do I drop it to... You know what? If I put it here, people are gonna think that I have it below Kratos Asura. So you know what? That works out. That works for me. And then Tom versus Wily, I have a good feeling is gonna be. I have a good feeling it's gonna be here or up here. So I'm actually gonna preload it and put it in the awesome. So this is my ranking so far for the season. Oh, let me download this real quick. Alright. Detour over. Back to thumbnails. Give me your suggestions while I go and get an ice cream cone. I'm back. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. I was gonna make Adam vs. Caboose. Thank you for reminding me. Anyway, I got a Fat Boy pop or sandwich pop. It's like a, you know, those like Fat Boy ice cream sandwiches. They just put like a stick through it. Alright. For episode 200. No, they deconfirmed it wasn't Asher versus Yugi, which thank God. That would have been an awful ass episode 200. That matchup is buns. It needs. He does have the funniest matchup spread. He has so let's see. He has Adam from Lab Rats, which makes sense. Like Adam versus Caboose makes sense. He has Mako from Kill la Kill. He has Rico. He has Rico from Penguins of Madagascar. A lot of people glaze out. A lot of people in the Death Battle community glaze the fuck out of that matchup, and I look at that and think to myself, that explains a lot. It just explains way too much. But like, sorry, I mean, but as an interaction, it's fine, you know. But as like something like in a death battle, it is genuine doo-doo buns in terms of just like everything. Zero debate, zero debate. The connections are ass. There's no fight dynamic because Yuki just shuts down anything Ash does. And it's like, I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, why the fuck do people push this matchup? I don't understand it. Outside of like nostalgia. That's the only reason I can think of, is just nostalgia. This matchup, by the way, is such a washed mishmash that even like casuals know Yugi fucking obliterates him. Like, I remember going on Twitter and seeing the Yu-Gi-Oh community when they saw this matchup get revealed for the Kickstarter. They're like, wait a minute, doesn't Ash fucking die horribly? And they were all talking about it. Which, like, fair, this episode will probably do numbers. Because it's, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Ash. Ash versus Nate Supremacy. Yeah, no, it just wasn't. I like Dan versus Yugi a little more because there's a lot more of a dynamic there. It's just it's still weird because of Yu-Gi-Oh's ruling. But, you know, Drago at least had... Drago and Dan had the connection... Similar connections to an extent. Fucking hell. I'm a simple man. Fair enough. That is a fair stance. The olden days of. Okay, NASCAR. We got to add a beam to that list of caboose matchups as well. From Chainsaw Man. Yeah, Achi's the guy from Cardfight Vanguard, right? Okay, guys, I have two images of Adam, and only one works better than the other. So tell me. So we have this one. So we got this one, right? This is pretty normal. And then we have this one. Why is he mewing into the camera? Yes, we're talking about Ash from Evil Dead. Actually, Ash, you know what? Gravity, you bring it up. Ash from Evil Dead has a better fight dynamic to Yugi than Ash from Pokemon does. That is my wisdom. I spit. Oh, okay, no, I'm 100% using this render. I'm using this image. Look at him, man. He's... I'm using this one. It's so good. And we got the fucking Mettaton music in the background. I think the Rivals one is the funnest one we've done so far. Alright, I've done. I don't know, maybe it's because it isn't Overwatch. He's aura farming. It's kind of annoying because like you can see like if you look closely you can see like the lines for the image because the fucking Disney intern could not be bothered to green screen them out properly at least. So this is gonna take a couple minutes. It looks like he's staring at yours. Me when I'm in the urinal over and the guy turns to look at me. That just reminded me of that one gif, the gif of the hold on, I bet I can grab it. Where is it? I'm trying to look for that one not gif, but that one image of Kyle and it's captioned something like me when I'm in the urinal over and the guy next to me goes, "When it rains it pours," as he proceeds to shit himself in the stall as well. That shit was fucking hilarious. And it's the scene where he's like preparing to launch the fucking giant drill at Simone. Oh yeah, no. That shit was just bad, man. That's a bad movie. Like they had it set up too. It's like, guys, we have everything set up for this, and then they proceed to do basically the complete opposite of the movie. And it's like, why? You guys basically ruined the movie by doing this. But they did it because it's a bait and switch. Because they did it they announced this like a week before the movie came out. But now people are not gonna be as smart or not as dumb when it comes to this stuff, because all Disney's doing is just ruin their reputation and their credibility. Like, yeah, you can make money all you want, but when you ruin the way you make that money, it goes downwards. That's also why I think Fantastic Four is not going to do well, because of the backlash with a lot of the other Marvel stuff. It trickles down. You think Superman is going to do better than Fantastic Four? Oh, absolutely. I think it will. It's Superman. And I think James Gunn has a better track record than Disney does when it comes to movies. Also, the stigma behind this movie has been pretty positive overall. There's been some hiccups. Like, someone saying that it was about James Gunn's cancellation. But, like, I've never seen a source to that. I just heard rumors of it, but I don't... That is true. Fantastic. They're both gonna get... They're gonna get walloped by the dinosaur movie. The cool-ass dinosaur movie. Then I learned from Mighty Savage. The autism community. What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't have autism, and I love dinosaurs. You got good storytelling. We got dinosaurs and aura. Yeah, but we ignore them. We just let them stay in their little bubble. You know, you got like the child-proof gate. We kind of just keep them there in the corner with their Schneider brand, the Todd McFarlane. Is it Todd McFarlane? Yeah, Todd McFarlane. They're Todd McFarlane Snyder Superman toys. As they build up buildings with the blocks and they launch Superman through them. Like, this is intentional by Schneider. I don't know. I'm fucking spurging out right now. I gotta increase the brightness on this caboose image. The Sea Bear Circle. That's good. Spawn movie 2. I seen the Instagram account the other day. I don't think so. There could be a Spawn movie in development, but I've never seen like a confirmation for it, so I can't really tell you. It's probably some AI generated bullshit, because you never know. Oh yeah, speaking of movies, superhero movies, they also canceled the Blade movie, which, by the way, how the fuck is that possible? It's Blade. It's not hard to make a movie about him. You put Blade in there, right? Another good one. Forgive me. Forgive my heresy. Yeah, they canceled the Blade movie. But then again, that was in development hell for years. And so is the Blade game. Jesus Christ, man. Can these guys, like, make anything with Blade? Like, Marvel making a fucking Blade property challenge? Impossible. It's like, just have them fight vampires. Make them be cool. Do cool shit. You will make money if you do that. Apparently, it's very hard for some of these writers. That one scene from Deadpool Wolverine aged well then. Wesley Snipes said he wanted to come back as Blade too. He's like, yeah, Blade's, and he was really cool in that movie. All right, I'm trying to think. Remember MCU? That is true. Correction, modern day MCU. Well, these motherfuckers can't write their way out of a paper bag. All right, I saw this earlier, but Yoshi Bro brought this idea up. We'll do King Pig versus Zomboss. I was working Thor is 100% going to die in Doomsday. Chris Hemsworth really. Yeah, he's dying in that movie, but like, let's be real. That's kind of that's just a blessing in disguise. Get him out of the movie trilogy. You haven't done shit with him. Uh-oh. How the fuck do I... You're welcome. Oh, whoops. So I saw just a tweet for Springtrap and Dead by Daylight. Walter White, Tony Soprano. Tony Soprano is awesome. I'm so glad that people they got so mad at everyone at them for what they did to Springtrap, and then they proceeded to double down on it and make him even better. Yeah, like Tony Soprano just makes sense. You know, we could probably just do something like this. Like it's covering his eye, but like that feels fitting for a King Pig. I haven't watched much of The Sopranos, but I like it from what I have seen of it. Probably Walter. Making thumbnails with Angry Birds characters is truly challenging. It is, like, I didn't realize this, but they're just spheres. Spherical! I might just have to do something like this, or he's just at the bottom. Which, to be fair, I think that can work. Hold on, I'm looking through the gallery on the wiki to see maybe there's something I can grab here. I forgot he was Emperor Palpatine. I think it's a fine idea. I think you could do some cool stuff with Godzilla Hulk. But I don't really have too much takeaway from it. Nope. There's so much content. I forgot this is Angry Birds we're talking about. Least which one you most hype in least hype? Ash Yugi for least hype. Most hype. The live action episode. How far am I? I'm not even halfway through the page. Alright, you know, fuck it, we're doing this. I said this earlier, but I think the live action episode should be I think a curveball could be something like Cap versus Ichigo. Because if you think about it, that would just make a lot of sense to be a live action. But it's if they have the budget for it. They don't have infinite money, obviously. You know what? This can work. Man, I don't want Hulk to get a third L. I want him to at least get a W. Because I think that for Hulk, they might put him way higher now because of the one below all shit. And I think too, like, you can probably make an argument for Hulk. Okay. If Hulk loses, I'll be sad. I will also be sad. Also, I just want to talk on this too. The winners royale for this so far is really fucking funny, because it goes Simone, then It's a two-way fight between Joker and Simone. It's then followed by a fight for third place with Spawn and Doom Guy. And then So you know that's very funny for the winners rail and Kratos. Oh yeah, that's right, Kratos. Got it. I forgot about Kratos. So that's a three-way between Kratos, Doomguy, and Spawn. Bowser's on the lower end. He's like very low end. Right now I'm trying to think. I think he's like fourth or fifth. Wonderflower is cool, but it doesn't work on most of the motherfuckers. Don't work on Spawn. It doesn't work on Kyle. It doesn't, or not Kyle. It doesn't work on Simone. It doesn't work on Joker, and it doesn't work on Doomguy. He would be the weakest. Yeah, because Omni-Man gets higher than him. Shigaraki. He grabs him really fast and then throws him into space. That is how he kills him. Or he like just he does that one in that one scene where he just shield charges into that one guard in the finale or the second to the finale. And he just pastes him. Can't he teleport? He can teleport, but he's getting speed blitz to hell and back. Okay. Please tell me Bowser at least beats Fall Guys. He does beat Fall Guys. He does beat Fall Guys. But I don't think he can get past the other four. He definitely not getting past Simon or Joker. Or Spawn for that matter. I'm pretty sure the only ones... Nah, I don't think it'll happen. Alright, I'm gonna do one more thumbnail. But yeah, I'm gonna do Serpico versus Polaraf. Because I just remembered that matchup is a thing, and I think it's actually cool as fuck. Now, I just need to do the impossible and find an actual Serpico image. Is there a... I don't know, man. I don't think we need a run back for Mario or Sonic. The only matchup I will take for Mario again is like Mario versus Kirby, which I think Kirby actually might just win now. He might actually just stat stomp Mario, which is kind of funny. You gotta remember this is a Berserk character. Oh, I should just look at the prints. Alright, so let me see what I can do. No. Finally. I don't want, yeah, I don't want a Batman back. Well, fuck you. You're getting well, fuck you. You were getting Batman Spider-Man matchup number 455. The only exception I will take for Batman getting a new episode is Spider-Man 2099 versus Batman Beyond. This actually might be really easy because this is his robe. So then we just do this. I just want to see. Yeah, this is robe, so I don't have to cut more out. Okay, that was easy. Now I just need to polarize him. What have I done? I should never ask it. Spider-Man return. Should be similar. He should scale to other Looney Tunes. Like Taz in Space Jam 2 is probably one of the most ridiculous feats because it's just him turning the Warner Brothers, the Warnerverse, and then turning it back to normal. Like he rotates the fucking thing. Okay, let me. Yeah, Miguel should just beat Terry. He should have higher stats regardless. I think that's fine. Alright, so that is actually all she wrote for today. Alright, so I think that is going to wrap up the stream for today. Uh, yeah, if you appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I will see ya in the next stream. So, yeah, have a good one.